Welcome Grenada, Carrico, PD Martinique, and the world. Welcome to another Mikey Live program. How are you doing today, people? I'm happy to know that you're with us for yet another day, folks. This is where it all happens. Yeah. We are talking about the good, the bad, and the Mikey. I mean, every day, every night, we want to make sure that we give you some of the biggest stories happening here in Grenada and the wider Caribbean. Folks, this is news discussed, not told. Here's what. We're going to tell you what's making the news today. First of all, here's this. The Royal Grenada Police Force, they have charged their first offender for leaking nude images. Now, we're talking about the Electronic Crime Act. First offender. So we're going to tell you more about that in a moment. Property tax deadline tomorrow. And you have to pay or else we'll tell you what will happen. According to government officials, over $1 million already spent in dealing with the sargassum seaweed issue. And they are saying that the issue is just bigger than Grenada. In terms of the capabilities of us to really eradicate it. Ban on styrofoam containers and so begins this week. We're going to tell you about that. All right. And there's more that we have to tell you about tonight right here on Mikey Live. So I want to encourage you to tell somebody about the program. I want to encourage you to share the business. You see, because when you share the program, that is how other people get to know what's happening. Yeah, that's how everybody gets to know what's happening. So go ahead and share the business. Folks, we have to remind you that the headlines was brought to you through the compliments, or the kind compliments of Duty Free Caribbean and the Colombian Emirates International. Now, when we come back, it's real news in all the Lili Lolo. So stay tuned.
i3s, i5s, i7s, we've got it all! With nothing down and nothing to pay for 30 days. Schooling has never been this easy. Plus, yes, you can even trade in that old laptop for up to 20% off a new one. New school term, new vibes, new smartness. Quartz, bringing value home.
Hello, how can I help?
I don't have anyone I can talk to.
I don't know what to do. Don't worry, sir. This call is confidential.
It's girls. Like, really young girls. I can't stop thinking about them.
Don't worry, sir. We will get you the help that you need.
My mom would believe me, but when she's on night shifts, my uncle keeps visiting me. I can't stop him.
Don't worry, miss. We will make sure you never have to deal with this again.
You are invited to a public session on the Caribbean Court of Justice this Wednesday, August 29th at the Grenada Trade Center. Come and hear a special address by Barbados Prime Minister Mia Mottley, as well as presentations by members of the local CCJ committee. Also, come armed with your questions and comments as we host a full interactive session. It's a special session at the Grenada Trade Center from 6 p.m. this Wednesday. It is the launch of the public activities as Grenada gets ready to affirm the Caribbean Court of Justice as its final appellate court. We are supporting the CCJ as we break the chains of colonialism for one united Caribbean.
If you are West Indian, then show me your day. Put something up in the air. Antigua, put your flag up. Barbados, put your flag up. Grenada, put your flag up.
Does your laundry detergent have enzymes to fight stains, remove bacteria and odors while being gentle on your hands? Does your laundry detergent have a natural lemon scent, easy rinse technology, and fabric softener to protect your clothes? If you answered yes, then you must be using Glace. If not, what are you waiting for? Glace laundry detergent is made with a 4-in-1 advanced formula and is phosphate-free, making it safe for the environment and safe for washing machines. Glace. A clean home is a Glace home.
And the Glace is distributed by Fortune Foods Limited, Tempe, St. George. All right, so folks, I think we are now ready for you for the news. We want to welcome everyone, man. For those of you who are tuning into Mikey Live for the first time, well, welcome. We've been waiting for you. What took you so long? Now, folks, the first thing that we need to tell you about is that there may be, based on where you live, an interruption in your water supply. Okay, so let's tell you this from NAWASA. Now, the National Water and Sewage Authority, NAWASA, advises consumers served by the Concord water system that in order to facilitate network maintenance, you will experience an interruption in your supply that is between the hours of 9 a.m. and 5 p.m. on Wednesday, August 29th, Concord in the parish of St. John through to the entire town of St. George and extending to River Road in the parish of St. George. Now, consumers, you are advised to collect and store water in clean covered containers prior to the interruption in your supply. Please be advised that although the system will be reopened at 5 p.m., consumers, especially those in elevated areas, may receive your supply within 2 hours after the scheduled restoration period. Now, the authority apologizes for any inconveniences caused. I would like to thank you, the customers, for your patience, actually, as they work towards the delivery of a safe, adequate, and reliable water supply. Now, NAWASA say that they are committed to meeting customers' needs. Now, folks, the CCJ campaign, it will be launched on Wednesday. That's right, that is tomorrow. The CCJ campaign, it's going to be officially launched, I should say, tomorrow, Wednesday, at the Grenada Trade Center. That's going to be at 6 p.m. The keynote speaker will be Barbados' Prime Minister, Mia Mottley. And there will be presentations from the Prime Minister, Dr. Keith Mitchell, Attorney Ruggles Ferguson, and a special feature would also be a question and answer segment. Now, tomorrow, God's willing, at that event, Grenada's Prime Minister will officially announce the date of the referendum. Now, the next thing that we have to tell you about, boy, property tax deadline is approaching. Yeah, you're running out of time. If you have not yet gone in and pay your taxes and so on, well, guess what? You may find yourself in some hot waters. Yeah, so you have to go ahead and pay. Okay, now property tax owners, the Inland Revenue Department, they are reminding you that your deadline for your property tax is on August 29th, 2018. Now, the Inland Revenue Division is encouraging property owners to pay your taxes to avoid penalties and interests. That's what they're saying. Now, for further information, you can contact Mrs. Karine Moraine Alexander, Public Relations Officer, Inland Revenue Division, Ministry of Finance and Energy at 435-6945 or 6946 or 435-1905. Or you can also email them at gnd.gd, sorry. Let's go again. That would be gndIRD@ird.gd. Okay? Please note that the law states 20% penalty. 20% penalty and interest of 1.5 on the outstanding balance from the 1st of September 2018. So all ya, if all you don't want to get all yourself in trouble, if you all don't want to have to pay all the extra penalties and so on, you are encouraged to go ahead and make your payments. And sometimes it's not much. And we're talking about your properties, so you don't want to mess with your properties and so on, get yourself in any kind of business. All right, so all right, go ahead and do the business. Okay, now folks, the next thing we have to tell all you about, boy, is the ban, the impending ban on styrofoam and thing. You know what styrofoam is? You know, the containers that we usually eat in. I had one to show on the program. I can't remember what I do with it. Right? The styrofoam containers that we usually get our lunches in from most of the restaurants around. Now, news flash. There's a ban on that. That is going to be taking effect in a couple of days. And you need to know about that. Not only you as the consumer, but as well, there are persons who, for example, own restaurants and so on. They too will need to take note of this ban. There was a post-cabinet briefing today, and we had the minister talking about that, Simon Steele, talking about it, and it's important that you get to know about that. Now, the first two items to be banned, styrofoam containers, and guess what? Single-use plastic bags that you just go and you get in your in the supermarket. That's right. Now here is Minister Steele speaking on that today.
And the inflow of sargassum.
Okay, no, that's my bad. That's my bad. We're not ready for that one yet. All right. Yes. So yes, the minister was talking about that today. Let me just get that one for you. Letting people know that you know, this will be taking effect pretty soon. Here's the minister on this.
The challenges of plastics pollution. So we have just signed the orders which bring into force the first two items to be banned. The first is styrofoam, and the second is single-use handled shopping bags. So for the importation of styrofoam, the ban comes into effect on the 1st of September, and the phasing out of styrofoam will take place over the course of the coming year, with the final final ban coming into effect. So that will be the sale of styrofoam with food items in it, which will be on the 1st of April 2019. So by April 2019, there should be no more styrofoam in the state of Grenada. Regarding single-use handled plastic bags, the importation ban will come into effect on the 1st of February 2019, so we have time to transition to that. With the final ban, the last carrier bag being able to be sold in this country the 1st of February 2020. So again, over the course of a 12-month period, the phasing out of single-use plastic bags. The order for other single-use plastics, whether it's cutlery, cups, plates, containers, etc., is due to come in force on the 1st of February 2019, but it will not be signed until further consultation has taken place with importers, with stakeholders. Some concerns have been raised over the timing. So further discussions are required before that order is signed.
All right, so that's the minister speaking about that. So of course, you will need to take note of that. Now folks, the next issue that was raised today is the whole issue of the sargassum seaweed. The government has so far spent over $1 million. What? They have spent over $1 million, people, in dealing with the sargassum seaweed. They are saying this is a major problem. And initially, you know, they were looking at the removal of the weed by these machines and so on the seashore. But they are saying now even that is posing to be a challenge. Here's the minister on that today.
And the inflow of sargassum to our shores continues. That invasion continues. This is a problem that is not only affecting us here in Grenada, but it's affecting many of our neighbors within the region. And it's costing us collectively many tens of millions of dollars. This year alone, the government of Grenada has already invested over $1 million in clearing our coastlines. And this is a problem that is not just a short-term problem. It is a problem that is here to stay. It is as a direct result of climate change and is something that we have to manage and something that we have to adapt to. Recent satellite images show that the month of September is going to be extremely problematic for us. There are large mats of sargassum out there that is moving towards us and our neighbors. Right now in Grenada, we have a major issue in the Soubise and Marquis areas. For the past 2 months, we have had heavy equipment clearing the sargassum as it comes ashore. But what we have found based on the work that is being carried out, the negative impact on the beach from use of that heavy equipment is proving problematic.
All right, folks, and that's Minister Steele today at the post-cabinet briefing talking about the impact of the sargassum seaweed on our nation's shores. Last evening we were telling you about presentations actually that were being made to family members of persons who would have passed in Carriacou, you know, and today we found a nice little report by Kendall Mark on this issue. Of course, we have to applaud these gestures, you know. When young people go out there and try to do things within the community, we have to applaud it. Here is a very brief report on the presentation by KOMG Productions.
Members of the Grenada Professional Soccer Artists Association handed over plaques of appreciation to the families of 2 soccer artists on the island who passed away. Kenley Rhino Joseph, former Soca Monarch, Road Match and Calypso Monarch, and Andrew Buster Dick, former Soca Monarch, were posthumously awarded for the contributions they made to the art form. Brandon Mikey, Killer B, is one of the members of the association.
The Grenada Professional Soca Artists Association, which is the GPSAA, and basically why we are here today is to acknowledge some of our fallen artists who had made their contribution over the years. We've done it in Grenada already, and the ones in Grenada has received the plaque as a token of appreciation. And we're here in Carriacou today to present to the families and, well, maybe the friends gonna see it as well, a plaque of appreciation to some of our very own, which is Kenley Rhino Joseph and Andrew Buster Dick.
Alia Joseph accepted the award on behalf of her father, while Zarina Bido accepted on behalf of her brother. The Grenada Professional Soccer Artists Association was formed in May of 2018.
Thank you very much. I did tell you that it was going to be a very brief report. Now, folks, we now go over to the issue of nurses. And now we are hearing from the Grenada Trade Union Council. So that's taking things to another level right now. We are hearing from the Trade Union Council. They are calling for action. Folks, listen to this. This is a release from the Trade Union Council. The Grenada Trade Union Council, the GTUC, expresses its deep concern with the ongoing reckless behavior of the government of Grenada, which has resulted in the impending loss of scores of our trained nurses through migration. The government's action or inaction has contributed to the many challenges facing the people of Grenada with the inadequate healthcare services. The GTUC has learned of the appalling working conditions of most of the country's nurses. The GTUC has learned with utter disgust and dismay of the many threats issued by the powers that be to our nurses because of their demands for better conditions of employment. Now, this release goes on to say that the GTUC calls upon the government to treat the nurses of this country with respect, decency, and dignity. The failure of the government to address the nurses' concerns has contributed to the deteriorating healthcare services. The failure of the government to provide the necessary job security and the benefit for the nurses is contributing to the breakdown in our healthcare system. Now, this one goes on to say here, considering the resources that are spent on the training of the nurses and the direct losses incurred when they migrate to build up the healthcare services of another country, the policy cannot make economic sense, or is it socially responsible? The Grenada Trades Union Council calls upon the government to regularize and make permanent all the nurses of our country. The continued violation of the Employment Act by offering contracts for specified time in permanent positions is negatively affecting the provision of healthcare services to the people of Grenada, Carriacou, and Petite Martinique. The release says, the Grenada Trade Union Council extends solidarity with the Nurses and Public Workers Union, the PWU, and stands willing, ready, and able to do all that is necessary to protect our nurses, workers, and citizens of the state of Grenada to proper health care services. It ends by saying, the Grenada Trades Union Council is closely monitoring this situation and has resolved to use all available means to address this matter in the interests of the workers and people of this country, and calls upon Prime Minister Dr. Keith Mitchell to directly intervene in this potential national crisis. Again, folks, this one is coming out from the Grenada Trades Union Council. And what you heard is a release from them on the recent issue, the tension. Because you guys would remember that it was last week, the Public Workers Union, they had a press conference. And they were talking about some of their grievances. In particular, they were talking about the regularization of the nurses. They're also speaking about some of the nurses who are preparing to leave the island, as this release is saying, to probably enhance the health services of another country. And so the Grenada Trade Union Council is saying that could never be good. You know? But the language used in this tells us that there may be some trouble on the horizon. Trouble in the morning. You know what I mean? So this is something that we will continue to monitor and see where it goes from here. All right? We are moving on. How are we looking for time? The next story that we have to tell you of is probably our biggest story for tonight, people. The whole cybercrime business. And the police, they are saying that, you know, they're putting their foot on the gas where that is concerned. Because there are too many situations happening in Grenada. So they are trying to send a message. Now, a St. George resident appeared at the St. George's Magistrates Court today, Tuesday, 28 August, charged with violation of privacy under the Electronic Crimes Act. Now, Yober Philip is a 25-year-old resident of Frequenté. Now, he's the first person to have been charged in violation of the Electronic Crimes Act, which was passed in 2013. It is alleged that Philip published nude photos of a person. You're telling me? Now, people, Section 10(1) of the Electronic Crimes Act, violation of privacy, states that a person who knowingly or without lawful excuse or justification captures, publishes, or transmits the image of a private area of a person without his or her consent under circumstances violating the privacy of that person commits an offense and is liable on summary conviction to a fine not exceeding $200,000 or to a term of imprisonment not exceeding 3 years or both. You understand? So from here we are seeing that the law is treating this very seriously. You understand? Very serious. Now, Assistant Commissioner of Police, that's ACP Trevor Modest. Now, we said that the Electronic Crimes Act is designed to protect the rights and privacy of individuals in this increasingly technological era. Now, ACP Modest said the provisions of the Electronic Crime Act are clear. And he says, I encourage persons to become familiar with these provisions. Ignorance of the law will not be accepted as an excuse. Now, he goes on to say that violation of the privacy of others is one of the offenses identified in the legislation, and as such, citizens must refrain from violating the rights of other persons when they record and share images of others, specifically images that depict an individual's private area. It says here that private area, according to the law, refers to the genitals, whether naked or covered by undergarments, the pubic area, the buttocks, or the female breast. Now, there are more things that we need to talk about where this law is concerned. And probably I'll have to ask our attorney, Ruggles Ferguson, to speak to us about that. I know the Electronic Crimes Act has had its challenges when it was still in the bill phase. I mean, I was one of the persons who were instrumental in having it adjusted. And by reading this, I am seeing some gray areas in this. And of course, we will have to bring in the attorney to speak more on it as he is the expert. So let's keep this conversation open, okay? But as I promised, our disclaimer, the charges and allegations contained in the article that was just read are merely accusations, and defendants are presumed innocent until proven guilty beyond a reasonable doubt in a court of law. We are moving on. How are we looking for time? But folks, even before we move on, you see, the sharing of this and the sharing of that, how it can get you in trouble. Because the law doesn't just speak about the taking or the capturing of the images. It also speaks to the publishing of the images. Now, if you send it through WhatsApp, that's publishing. If you send it to a friend, that's publishing. You see? And you can get yourself in some serious trouble. Now, just before we move on, I just want to reiterate something. Just want to reiterate this point. Just want to reiterate one point. In terms of what it can cost you, it is an expensive crime to commit, people. Once you have committed that offense, you are liable on summary conviction to a fine not exceeding $200,000. That's a whole house, you know. $200,000. Or to a term of imprisonment not exceeding 3 years. People are serious. People are serious. You understand? So be guided accordingly. Be guided accordingly. We're moving on. I want to go up to our sister L for 1 minute. You know, what we understand is that we have a lot of viewers out there in Carriacou. So we want to big up the Carriacou, big up the fan base in Carriacou now. And Petite Martinique. And as such, we want to create a better balance in terms of the stories that we feature on the program. You understand? Because they are part of our nation as well. The state of Grenada, tri-island states. So Carriacou and Petite Martinique are part of it. So in an effort to address the issues of coastal erosion as a result of rising sea levels in an area known as Sanchez on the island of Petite Martinique, a sea defense wall is being constructed. And folks, you will hear more about that in this special report. All right. And folks, we have more interesting news to tell you after this story. All right. So please stay right there.
A 200-feet sea defense retaining wall is being constructed on the island. The wall is being constructed in an area that serves as the passage to one of the island's jetty, which has been severely impacted by erosion. Honorable Kindra Matthew Stewart, Minister for Carriacou and Petite Martinique Affairs and the local government, says the construction of the wall comes as a result of residents on the island calling for government's intervention to save the area, and a visit and assessment of the area due to increased erosion, hence is being given priority. Minister Stewart notes the issue of coastal erosion across the country is alarming, and her government stands ready and willing to do all in its power to help minimize the impact of coastal erosion. The project, which has created employment for construction workers on the island, is expected to be completed by September. The wall is being constructed to the tune of $156,000.
Thank you very much, Kendall, for that report. Now, folks, there has been a very interesting development in Trinidad and Tobago. Now, needless to say, from time to time, you will hear of incidents where something happens on the road, you get a punctured tire and so on, and while the persons are attending to their vehicles, they are robbed and so on. Now today, there was a very interesting discovery brought to the fore on social media. It has even gotten the attention of the authorities there. Let's take you to Trinidad and show you what we are talking about.
Well, look at what they're doing. Along the sunny road by cruising in Chagramas to burst your tire and then they're robbing you. Well, be very careful.
Watch you. My tire bus keep driving. Keep going. Come to the side, boy, so they'll see how thing it is. You tell them when your tire bus keep driving. That's it up.
And the tire bus keep driving. Find the safest spot.
Fielding positions in cricket.
So you just take all that from the road again.
Just take all this from the road earlier.
And this means that one team needs to bowl the other team out twice and score more runs than them to win the match. One of the key differences between
And these are some good Samaritans. You don't get that too often, right? So these are some good Samaritans talking about their discovery. Now this has prompted a response. A very interesting response. Listen to this. It's a media release from the Chaguamas Development Authority. Quote, and it says, misleading information in video of nails on road near cruising. That's what it says. Listen to what it says. Misleading information in video of nails on road near cruising. Let me read it. The Chaguamas Development Authority, CDA, says no reports were made to it or to the Carenage police station with regards to a video showing nails pounded into the road allegedly by bandits. The CDA said that after it saw the video, it launched an investigation and did not see the nails. The CDA has issued the following statement. After being made aware of a video circulating on social media of nails found into the road near cruising at Chaguamas, a Chaguamas Development Authority CDA team promptly carried out its investigation. It says Inspector Darland of the CDA police unit and a party of police officers conducted inquiries as well as the visit, and nothing was seen as purported in the video. Several checks made in the area also revealed that no one reported any incident of this nature. There are no reports made at the Carenage police station and the CDA police headquarters. The CDA continues to monitor the situation in order to provide a safe environment in the Northwest Peninsula. Now tell me something. No, I didn't dare. But the first thing, when I first read this statement, I'm like, okay. Wait. What are you saying? Okay, so the people come to you with a video on social media, shows the video, hold on, I don't really want to laugh here, shows the video and says this is what they have discovered. They further went on to say, in the same video, hold on, take a time with me, in the same video, that they have removed the nails that they found in the road. So then you counteract what they have said by saying, well, when you went there, you found no nails. Seemingly, to discredit the account of the people who made the videos. And as if that wasn't bad enough, do you really expect your citizens to see such a hazard and leave it there? I don't know. I mean, I could be very wrong about this, but my oh my, I never hear that yet. Oh God! But no, what the jail is that? Who write that? No. Then people say when they went there, they saw no nails. When they went there, they saw no such thing. I never hear that yet. No, sir. Hold on, let me move on because listen, I'm rolling on. That can't be, no, that's not a real story. That can't be a real story. That can't be a real press release. Let's get into something different. You know what I mean? Because what I'm saying, that don't make no sense. My little niece, she does watch me in that kind of sarcastic way. If I read that for my niece, 3 years old, Uncle, stop being silly. I never hear that yet. Anyway, let me go. The next story that we have to tell all you about, boy, Petrotrin. Petrotrin, boy, that's a big deal in Trinidad right now, boy. Because what I know is that Petrotrin, they are about to retrench some workers. You know, they you know, in local terms, let them go. In the thousands, people. In the thousands. We're making it up. It says that the company's management, because today they had a meeting and thing, and they have confirmed that they would end oil refining operations. Trinidad, you know. Now the company's management disclosed the news to the media earlier today after discussions with the unions. You're making it up. Then they sent out a statement. They just take a little piece of the statement. The Petrotrin Board of Directors met on 2018, Tuesday, August 28th. What? Think back in front of me anyway. With its employee representative unions and the company's management to announce plans to end Petrotrin's oil refining operations at Point-a-Pier and they say to redesign entirely its exploration and production business. It says that the restructuring exercise is geared to curtail losses at the state-owned oil company and get it on a path of sustainable profitability. Listen to this now, you know. Approximately 2,600 permanent jobs will be affected. It says that the redesigned exploration and production business will have approximately 800 workers, and all 1,700 jobs in a refining will be terminated. Now, Olia, I know about the Olia. Me not Trinidadian, but what I'm saying is that is not even sounding right. And as clockwork, this prompted a response from Kamala. And she says that is just hasty, arrogant. Enough thought hasn't been put into the whole business. And she just thought it's madness. You understand? Go and read them Trinidad thing. Read it. Let me read that story there. You understand? But that ain't even sounding right, people. That spells trouble. That spells trouble. When you have thousands of people losing their job. Never hear that yet. So I hope that, I don't know, something will work out for them, because what I'm saying is, that one difficult boy, that one tough now. How are we looking for time, people? People are playing institution thing now. Big up to them people who are on the program for the first time, you know. You know, we know that, you know, you might have heard about the program and you come on to the thing to see the business. So we have to say, welcome to you. We don't treat people nice. So welcome, and we don't have coffee tonight, but maybe another night you get something. All right? We have some more things to tell you about. But first, we got to take a break, and don't forget too, we have the national report coming up.
The biggest fashion event of the summer is here. Quartz Fashionista competition is back. Sign up today and you can win $2,500 in cash and the title of Quartz Fashionista. To qualify, visit a Quartz store near you. Select a product which inspires your design and submit a completed registration form. Participants will be selected based on design submissions to showcase their looks on our Quartz runway. Get your creative hats on and sign up for the 5th annual Quartz Fashionista competition. Ask about our new brochure for even more inspiration. The 5th annual Quartz Fashionista competition. See in store for details. Quartz, bringing value home.
Megaforce Promotions presents the After Carnival Appreciation Bingo, Sunday, 2nd September from 5 p.m. Just when you think it's all over, no, we're back at the National Stadium. Looking for it. $50,000 in cash to be won. $50,000. Your tickets cost $30 for one. Pay $50 and we give you 2 tickets. It's an appreciation bingo, so you know it's gonna be pure fun. So link up with your friends and head on down. It's the After Carnival Appreciation Bingo, Sunday, 2nd September, National Stadium. See you there. Sponsored by Carib, Mikey Live, Godfat.com discount card, Glenelg, Spring Water, and Waggity Rentals and Sound Company.
We listened to what you had to say and tore up the old rules, because losing what you paid for is just wrong. Now, lost data and talk are a thing of the past. Only Digicel gives you unlimited rollover data and talk. Just buy and renew your Quick Pick bundle before it expires and keep what's rightfully yours. Never lose what you don't use. Go to My Digicel app to bundle up and roll over today. Digicel.
Final Stop Auto Sales and Rentals, located in Mungay, St. George, is your final stop for all your auto sales and rentals. We sell a wide variety of used cars in mint condition for the best price on the market. We sell all the popular makes and models of vehicles. If we don't have it, we'll order it for you. Or, do you have a vehicle that you want to ship to Grenada? Then we'll do that for you. And if you need a vehicle for a few days, we also rent vehicles, both short and long term. See us today, located next to the Deco Service Center, or call 410-7475 or 422-9615. Final Stop Auto Sales and Rentals, Grenada's best.
Does your laundry detergent have enzymes to fight stains, remove bacteria and odors while being gentle on your hands? Does your laundry detergent have a natural lemon scent, easy rinse technology, and fabric softener to protect your clothes? If you answered yes, then you must be using Glace. If not, what are you waiting for? Glace laundry detergent is made with a 4-in-1 advanced formula and is phosphate-free, making it safe for the environment and safe for washing machines. Glace. A clean home is a Glace home.
All right, folks, and remember, you gotta try the Glace, man. It's off the shizzle and nizzle. We now have for you the National Report.
CCJ Advisory Committee promises heightened awareness on the regional court. Details to this story and more in the national reports. Welcome back with the news in detail for today, Tuesday, August 28th, 2018. I am Wendy Edmond. Now that Carnival is over, Grenadians will witness a heightened education awareness campaign on the Caribbean Court of Justice. That assurance from Attorney-at-Law Ruggles Ferguson, a member of the CCJ Advisory Committee. He says this will begin in earnest at Wednesday's launch of the CCJ Public Awareness Campaign, which is designed to guide the voting populace on making informed decisions on Referendum Day. Prime Minister Mia Mottley of Barbados will be the featured speaker at Wednesday's function at the Grenada Trade Center, which runs from 6 to 9 p.m.
Prime Minister Dr. Mitchell, he will also be one of the speakers, and you have Prime Minister Mia Mottley being the featured speaker. Prime Minister Mitchell is expected to formally announce the date, confirm the date for the referendum, and there are several cultural items. You have speakers from the committee itself highlighting different aspects of the CCJ.
Ferguson says when he speaks of the CCJ, he is speaking about much more than easy access.
The issue of the establishment of a regional court has been discussed since 1901.
Okay.
1901, over 100 years ago, and it's now coming to fruition, and therefore that's the critical arm of the state. That's the judiciary. People must have access to it. We have a judicial committee of the Privy Council in which 95% plus safely cannot access because they cannot afford to go there, and that's just the access to justice point. But again, we are dependent on a court whose services can be removed from us at any time, because the British taxpayer funds that court. And probably the British taxpayer doesn't understand how these things operate himself. But one day some movement would grow saying, well, why we have to pay for a court for people all the way in the Caribbean and they have their own court, and put pressure on the governments to remove these services, as you had with Brexit.
While there are many arguments to support the decision to use the CCJ as a final court of appeal, there is still concern in some circles about trust and confidence.
We have some of the best minds in the Caribbean sitting on that court. But it's not only the Caribbean.
Okay, where else are they drawn from?
We have the Netherlands, Justice Jacob Witt, for example. He is from the Netherlands, one of the top judges over the years, involved in academia, writing and so, and also presiding over courts in Curacao, Aruba, the Dutch-speaking islands.
Preparations for the 2019 budget has moved into high gear. As part of the budget preparation process, the Ministry of Finance is engaging stakeholders to hear their concerns on the state of the country's economy and suggestions for the way forward. Already, the Ministry of Finance has held discussions with the private sector and the credit unions and has confirmed the participation of stakeholders from the Bankers Association, Agriculture and Fisheries during this week. A consultation will also be held on the Sister Isle for the people of Carriacou and Petit Martinique at the Hillsborough Resource Center on Friday, August 31st, 2018, beginning at 6 p.m. This year's youth consultation will focus heavily on youth unemployment, creating opportunities for young people in small business development, agriculture and education, among other youth-inspired areas. This is the National Report. More news after the break.
You are invited to a public session on the Caribbean Court of Justice this Wednesday, August 29th at the Grenada Trade Center. Come and hear a special address by Barbados Prime Minister Mia Mottley, as well as presentations by members of the local CCJ committee. Also, come armed with your questions and comments as we host a full interactive session. It's a special session at the Grenada Trade Center from 6 p.m. this Wednesday. It is the launch of the public activities as Grenada gets ready to affirm the Caribbean Court of Justice as its final appellate court. We are supporting the CCJ as we break the chains of colonialism for one united Caribbean.
If you are West Indian, then show me your day. Put something up in the air. Antigua, put your flag up. Barbados, put your flag up. Grenada, put your flag up.
Welcome back. September 1st, 2018 is the date given by government for which the ban on the importation of styrofoam will take effect. The goal is to achieve zero styrofoam status by April 2019. Government introduced the Non-Biodegradable Waste Control Bill 2018 to the lower house. It speaks to 3 levels of prohibition: importation and manufacture of styrofoam products, sale and offer for sale of styrofoam products, and the prohibition for sale and offer for sale of food in or with these products. This bill seeks to regulate the use of non-biodegradable products to reduce the negative environmental effect. During the government's weekly post-cabinet media brief, Climate Resilience Minister Senator Simon Steele said the government has signed the order for 2 items to be banned in the first instance by 2020.
The phasing out of styrofoam will take place over the course of the coming year, with the final final ban coming into effect. So that will be the sale of styrofoam with food items in it, which will be on the 1st of April 2019. So by April 2019, there should be no more styrofoam in the state of Grenada. Regarding single-use handled plastic bags, the importation ban will come into effect on the 1st of February 2019, so we have time to transition to that. With the final ban, the last carrier bag being able to be sold in this country the 1st of February 2020. So again, over the course of a 12-month period, the phasing out of single-use plastic bags.
He said consultations are ongoing to prohibit the importation of other single-use plastic items.
The order for other single-use plastics, whether it's cutlery, cups, plates, containers, etc., is due to come in force on the 1st of February 2019, but it will not be signed until further consultation has taken place with importers, with stakeholders. Some concerns have been raised over the timing, so further discussions are required before that order is signed. But again, we uphold our commitment to the banning of single-use plastics, but working with importers, with stakeholders, to ensure that the implementation of that and the economic impact of that is as seamless as possible.
Satellite images show the month of September will bring even more seaweed to the island's beaches. That announcement was made by Minister for Climate Resilience, Senator the Honorable Simon Steele. He says the use of heavy machinery continues to be problematic. So government has decided to change its approach to use manual methods.
Recent satellite images show that the month of September is going to be extremely problematic for us. There are large mats of sargassum out there that is moving towards us and our neighbors. Right now in Grenada, we have a major issue in the Soubise and Marquis areas. For the past 2 months, we have had heavy equipment clearing the sargassum as it comes ashore. But what we have found, based on the work that is being carried out, the negative impact on the beach from use of that heavy equipment is proving problematic.
Grenada has turned to Martinique and St. Martin for help, and a team will travel soon to learn about their strategies on how to best manage the sargassum. According to Senator Steele, support will also be obtained from the Japanese government.
Cabinet approved a team from Grenada to visit both Martinique and St. Martin so they can have first-hand experience as to what is taking place and for recommendations as to equipment acquisition and operations for us here in Grenada. In addition to that, we have approached the Japanese government on behalf of our OCS neighbors for both technical and financial support for the ongoing management of this problem. So once again, this is a priority issue for us, and priority action is taking place. But it's important for us to recognize and realize this isn't about solving the problem. The problem is too big for us to solve, not just nationally, but regionally. But it's a matter of finding solutions as to how we can best manage it short, medium, and long term.
And that's a wrap on the National Report for today, August 28th, 2018. On behalf of all of us in the newsroom, I am Wendy Edmond, thanking you for viewing.
Thank you very much, Wendy, and that's much appreciated. Okay, and this time we want to say hello to the folks who are still with us, who are here for the first time. I see that there's quite a bit of you here with us. If you have not yet done so, please go ahead and share the program. There are a few housekeeping matters that we have to share with you. Mikey Live will be covering the Labor Day activities in New York. All right, so there might be some changes with our schedule as of Thursday. Now, I'll tell you on Thursday for sure, due to the traveling schedule, there will be no Mikey Live program. That is this Thursday. However, we're going to try to see if we can replace that with something else. We apologize for that as well. On Wednesday, which is tomorrow, God's willing, we endeavor to bring the launch of the CCJ campaign. There are a lot of things scheduled to happen tomorrow. In particular, we want to highlight the question and answer segment. I think that's going to be something of interest. So we are making arrangements to cover that as well. It may or may not affect our program for tomorrow, but tomorrow, God's willing. So we are just trying to see how we can work around it during the course of the day. Tomorrow, God's willing, we will tell you more about that. Of course, we want to keep you informed of our plans, all right? But do expect to basically get a lot of the Labor Day coverage course, we want to highlight what's happening with Grenada and Grenada's talent. We cannot argue that Grenada is trending right now, and we need to at least highlight everything that's happening with regards to our artists, our music, and by extension, our culture. We have the weather report. The weather is expected to be partly cloudy to cloudy with occasional showers and a low chance of thunder overnight. All right, so those of all who are afraid thunder, just know that you may get some thunder tonight. The minimum temperature is expected to be about 22.5 degrees Celsius. Winds easterly to southeasterly, that's again, winds easterly to southeasterly at 10 to 20 miles per hour, gusting higher with showers. Seas slight to moderate, waves up to 5 feet in open waters, and there are no specific weather advisories for the Tri-Island state. All right. Okay, folks, what else do I need to tell you about? I think that's just about it. Let's say hello to some of the people who are tuned into the program. Zaka, Ezran, Shireen, Angel, Shomin, Bihari. Shireen says she don't care about CCJ. Neki, Sharon, Esther, Tonya, Trevelin, Wendy Ann, Colette. Well, Mikey, I have to make the live. Well, those of you who are in New York and who plan to play mass, just look out for the cameras, because y'all gonna be featured on Mikey Live for sure. Spice Girl, big up your whole self. Esther, Melly, Samantha, Trevelin, Raven, Khadija, Colette, Kim, Ina, who else is with us? Lisa, I say Nikki already, right? And the usual people. Nika, Eunice, Ruth, Angel, Nessie, Esther, Gretel, Beverly, Kireen, Shomin, Hazel, Anne. And that's it. Y'all, behave all yourself, work on the side, don't make nobody trouble all your thing. Alright? And have a good one. That's as far as I could take you for today. And yeah. So anyway, Alia, are you ready? I'm ready. Who's ready? Let's do the thing now. If I'm ready, you are ready, we ready. Let's do the thing. In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And we all say, Ja! No! Good night, everyone. God bless you and your families. See you next time.